What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to the Origins podcast. It feels very weird saying that. Wow, how long has it been? A year? Longer?
Did we do one in January? No,
Did we? Maybe.
probably well over it. Probably well over a year.
Well, we've had a number of big returns, not actually ever return. Um, there's so much for us to update you guys on. There's a lot that's happened. I mean, we're both me and Tim are in very different places in our life now when the last time we were up on here doing this. So like we'll spend this podcast going through where we've been and what's going on and why we've been away from this and why we've not been doing it. But in terms of like what we're going to be doing with this podcast going forward, we're taking a step back from bodybuilding content, the both of us, in terms of our training as well, which we'll get into as well because there's so much there. But this podcast is not going to be us chatting about resistance profiles and nutrition timing and like everything like that you'd associate that what we previously used to do. We want this to be lifestyle, business, general chat, like just casual, like easy listening, and more relatable as well, because at the end of the day, how many people are like die-hard bodybuilders in this world? So we'll start with you, Tim. I mean, the biggest change for you is probably like training wise. So I don't know if you want to run through with everyone like what's actually going on with you at the minute.
Well, hey guys, welcome back. So for anyone that doesn't know, how long? 3 months ago, over 3 months ago, maybe, completely stopped bodybuilding altogether. Came to the decision that I'd spent 5, 6 years bodybuilding, and it just started to not fulfill me anymore. Wasn't bringing any enjoyment to my life or any meaning to my life. I was stuck in a rut for quite a while, I'd say. And I couldn't really figure out what it was. And it was the bodybuilding, really. That was the issue for me. Still love the sport, still follow the sport, still prep clients. I still believe in every single principle I've ever preached in terms of building muscle, dieting, etc., exercise selection. However, it just came to the point where it wasn't for me. So I left, I retired, I quit, went through a bit of a transitional period in terms of enjoying myself, no tracking, intuitively eating, regaining some appetite. And then basically I've made a switch to a hybrid / CrossFit lifestyle, which I've been doing for the past couple of months now. And I'm absolutely loving it. I'm probably in the best shape I've ever been in. I'm a lot smaller, but I'm probably the best shape I've ever been in, and the healthiest and fittest I've been. So that's kind of where I've been over the last few months. Which else ask, because if I wanted to go into intricacies, I'd be talking for about an hour.
Lost your eyesight too.
Oh yeah, and I now wear glasses as well. So my left in particular is absolutely he's gone. So not only am I left bodybuilding, I now wear glasses.
So with the new training setup, but what does it look like now across the week, and how is it different to what it used to be?
So I've got a logbook here actually. It's still logbook in somewhere. I've been through many different phases over the past few months, trialing different things and seeing what I enjoy. And now I've just been to Ibiza as well, everyone. So now coming back from Ibiza, I am on like a hybrid split. So Monday, it's like an active rest day. It's just a 5K run. Well, it will be next week. It was 3.5K this week, but I've got 5K in the bag. So we'll start the 5K run on a Monday. Tuesday, I've got quads, delts, tiny bit of tricep topper, and a conditioning session at the end. Wednesday, which is today that we've just recorded, which I've just done, is hamstrings, back, tiny bit of biceps conditioning. Thursday is completely off. Friday is another run, which is going to be in a sprint fashion. Chest and arms. Saturday, lower body and conditioning, and Sunday is just top upper body movements with abs. So predominantly, I'm all performance based. It's not really for training for aesthetics. I don't want to build any muscle. So I'm going to be running back with the big three: the squat, bench, dead, an overhead press, and weighted pull-ups as well. And then working around different styles of conditioning sessions at the end of sessions, so EMOMs, Metcons, and WODs, and then of course throwing in runs in the mix as well. So it's a blend of everything. But the actual resistance training side of things, outside of the compound lifts, they're not tailored towards building muscle. They're literally 4, 5, 6 sets a week just to basically keep all of the muscle I've got. They're just literally keeping a top up across the week. The only areas that I would like bigger and always will do is my arms. So they've got quite a lot of volume. But apart from that, everything else is performance based. And that's how I've been over the past few months. Yes, I have dieted, which we'll touch upon later on. But nothing has been from an aesthetic standpoint or hypertrophy standpoint. It has literally been performance. And then if my physique changes and looks good, it'll be as a byproduct of my performance increasing.
Fairs. How have you found the running side of it? Because for me, like, running is you can take like any form of physical activity, and running is like rock bottom. I can't stand it. Like even when I used to play football, like long distance running, cross country, absolutely hated it.
Yeah, for anyone listening, I was across a long distance cross country when I represented county my whole life as a young lad. And my dad loves running. He's a fantastic runner, and it's pretty much in my genetics. My genetics are very much built for this as opposed to built for bodybuilding. But I hated it. I always hated it as a kid. I never enjoyed it. I went on my first run the other day. Aerobically, I was fine, but I've been doing a lot of aerobic work and conditioning work over the past few months. My shins, hips, lower back, feet were in agony. That was the main thing. But I actually enjoyed being outside and running. Halfway through the run, it started raining. You know what it's like playing footy in the rain. Like, I actually enjoyed it. It was nice. It cooled me down. I felt good afterwards. So if you stick me on, I always have done. I hate list cardio. I hate being on a Stairmaster, hate being on a cross trainer bike or treadmill. Even doing steps on the treadmill. I hate being stuck in one place for so long. My attention span is just gone. Like, I'm so bored. So actually being outside and running, it was nice. I actually enjoyed it. I didn't enjoy it because that much, because I was in pain with my feet and stuff. Got some running shoes on the way, but in terms of actually like how novel it was and stuff, and the feeling afterwards, I really did enjoy it compared to being stuck on a treadmill. So there'll be no treadmill work or anything like that for me because I've been so monotonous and boring.
Did you get really sore obliques?
No, but I did the other week when I played footy. But I've been doing a lot of ab work recently, so my abs are quite conditioned to that now.
Yeah, the last time I did
hips, shins, and feet. Yeah.
So obviously that impact, isn't it? Did you run on concrete or grass?
Yeah, it was a path the whole way.
Okay. Well, yeah, that's obviously an update on my Tim's out. That's a huge shift. Like, couldn't be more different. Like, massive 180 turn in
180. And as I've said, in terms of the movements I'm doing, none of them are optimal. I haven't done any of this. I haven't ran in probably, I'm 24. My last cross country would have been 16. So I actually probably haven't been on a run in 8 years. Like, legit haven't been on a run in 8 years, so I'm not needing to. And then I haven't done a squat, OHP, bench, or actual deadlift on the floor in 3 years, because they're not optimal for building muscle. So in terms of that's what I said earlier, in terms of the principles of building muscle, not many clients, unless they're functional, will be doing this. But for me, it's completely performance based. I want to get strong again. I want to get strong at these lifts. So yeah, massive 180. But you've had a little change as well.
Yeah, I think this shift as a whole has been pretty big in the bodybuilding industry. It's once upon a time it was like cool to be 300 pounds and out of breath and can't walk more than 5 yards.
Yeah.
And I think that general like sentiment is gone now. And you see like the bigger names in the bodybuilding world, like in the UK especially. I mean, TM Cycles was the one that started it, and now you've got people like Joe Brighty doing it. Like fully is taking a step back because the risk reward on your health isn't really there, especially assisted bodybuilding.
Almost went with drugs to using the safer use model, and then from there it's like there's no real correlation, but it's gone from the drugs, and now so many people have realized shit. Even big bodybuilders, the amount of conditioning work and aerobic work that they are doing now, it's as you said, being 300 pounds and can't walk around has just shifted. I was nearly 250, and I couldn't walk around York Shopping Centre. My mum, I had to take a breath. I'd sit down, take a breath.
Yeah, and that's where the toll comes in. I think it's the extreme nature of bodybuilding, and that's like, for the people that don't know, I've also taken a step back. It's not as extreme as what Tim has done. My priority is still hypertrophy. I don't have my physique goal is still there. I don't have the physique that I'm happy to just be like, yeah, we'll just maintain from now on. So my setup across the week is very much hypertrophy based still, but incorporating high intensity conditioning work and a bit of low intensity as well, just so I've got some like continuous steady state CV work in there as well. But it's, for me, it was like the two extremes of bodybuilding. It's like you spend 9 to how many months obese, basically, massively overweight, unhealthy on one side of the spectrum, diet down, look good for a few months, look healthy, and then you just immediately shift into that opposite extreme where you're on borderline death on the other side. And for what? For me especially, I'm never going to be Mr. Olympia or even anything even remotely close. So why put myself through it? The experience was fun. We've both competed. We've been there. We've done that. We've gotten in that condition. But especially with what we're going to speak about the rest of this podcast in terms of like business and life and everything going forward, it's not worth it. There's absolutely no need for either of us to be pushing ourselves to that like absolute limit where, like, for example, with this fitness work, you can push yourself to the limit, but is that going to impede your life day to day? No. Bodybuilding does.
As a bodybuilder, you actually look good for probably 5 weeks of the year. Like, you're either like, all right, big in clothes or whatever and strong. Probably don't really, and you'll admit, and you'll hold your hands up to this, and I would, as a coach, as a bodybuilder, like as an online coach, if you come to me in the off season, I would actually be apprehensive about getting my top off in front of someone because of the body weight I was carrying and how skewed my body dysmorphia was. And then you go to the other extreme where you look so unhealthy and peeled that it's horrible on the eye. So realistically, you've got that 4 or 5 weeks of prep where you look lean and good, and you're really healthy at that point. CV works high. Then you get to the point where you literally libido's gone, hormone profile's absolutely in the bin, and everything else is fucked from that standpoint. And then you have the off season where you don't even want to get your top off, and you're unhealthy. So as you said, it's if you're not going to get anything back, and you don't like truly to beyond, like that's your only passion, it's doesn't make a lot of sense.
No. And I think it's a good happening in the industry now, is a lot of people are kind of waking up to it and realizing that you don't need, or there's no need to really waste your life away for something that you're going to get nothing out of. A lot of people are thinking like, right, I'll look back on this and think like, what did I achieve? On the flip side of that, fair enough to people that love it. And bodybuilding is a sport where you can be obsessive about it, and there are people that absolutely love every single aspect of it. And we obviously were like that.
And also, if you want to be the best at something, that's not us saying like you shouldn't if you love it. If you want to be the best and have the potential to be the best, and it is your devout passion, your divine passion, you have to devote everything to it. You don't get good at anything by not being the best and being obsessive over it.
Yeah, this point of view is purely from people like us, where neither of us have had aspirations to be on the Olympia stage. And there's a lot of people like us that I feel like even us to an extent, almost like coerced into loving bodybuilding a little bit through social media and through the kind of cult followings people have and things like that. So yeah, I just got a warning on our meeting, having 10 minutes left, so better speed up. But yeah, in terms of my training wise, like I said, it's just primarily hypertrophy based, a little bit of performance, a little bit of cardio, keep myself fit and healthy. Got fairly lean before holiday, but I went away to Portugal for 2 weeks and came back like 7 or 8 pounds heavier. So just pulling that back off now. Going away to South Africa in like 9 weeks' time. So just going to get fairly lean for that again. But I guess we can move on to the business side of things, because this is where things get more interesting with both of us. We both kind of got two, obviously we're both coaches still. That's not changed. That is our primary source of income. That is our job. That's our passion. We both love coaching. Tim is and always has been more of the competitive side. I to be fair, been more lifestyle without even really thinking about it. Whereas you now are taking that jump more into lifestyle coaching, but like head first. And I'll let you speak about it. The whole transformation challenge, everything you're doing.
Well, yeah, I'm still prepping people, still got many people on stage this year, still got wins as usual, but it's a case of, I find it a bit of an imposter syndrome. I've been at shows and it's felt like an imposter, especially with having someone go through such a meticulous, horrible slog of a prep. With me not living that lifestyle, I find it very hard being in the position of power, saying, look, suck it up. You're doing an hour and 20 minutes cardio a day. You're on sub 2,000 calories. Just suck it up. And I find it hard in my position now to almost tell someone to do that when I don't live that life. Yes, I've been there, done it, both extremes, but I do find it difficult to do that. And I do think like I just don't have the authority I did. And that's me being completely, truly honest. So I jumped in headfirst with lifestyle, opened up a sub branch of lifestyle coaching, which will be transformation challenges. The difference with my side of transformation challenges is it's going to be educational based, and I'm going to be educating with videos and a community group, everyone who jumps onto the lifestyle challenge. So it's not just a 6-week challenge. I'll diet you into the ground, then put on my Instagram that it's a life-changing result, when realistically it's probably done more harm than good, because I see that all the fucking time and it annoys me. Especially these coaches that do like photo shoots bare. Like all they do is photo shoot with clients. Life-changing result. It's not a life-changing result, because you just probably fucked up their appetite, dieted them hard for 12 weeks, and then they just leave and they're gone, and they're just screwed because they basically got a post-show situation. So this is basically looking to change your life. Maybe the results won't be as extreme, but along the way, once you're done with me, you'll learn for the rest of your life, the next 20 years, how to manage social occasions, how to manage around the 9 to 5, how to manage around a work shift and still be in great shape and enjoy yourself. So that's kind of what I've jumped in head first and done. And then a lot of my coaching is now as well heading towards that functional side of things, incorporating lifestyle as well. So yeah, that's kind of what I've jumped into from a business perspective.
Yeah, people will typically follow the direction you go in, whether it's current clients or new clients come in. Like you will eventually shift fully away from bodybuilding. I get what you're saying with the imposter syndrome as well, especially when you're turning up to shows and there are coaches there that are in the position you used to be in. It's even worse.
Once, he sat there, you've got a coach next to me sat in his cream of rice, he's not missing a meal. I'm nipping off in between classes to go get a Subway. Or I'm as after the sound, or I'm having just a chicken salad sandwich with a protein shake that I bought. Immediately you get looked down upon because I've bought a UFit protein shake, and it's not a JP shake with some cream and rice, as daft as it is. And maybe people will still come and want to be prepped by me because the results speak for themselves, but I can see why people wouldn't as well. I completely get that on the other side of it. So yeah, that's where we're at business wise, still completely coaching. And the biggest business shift has been over with you, Rob.
It has. We've only got 5 minutes left to explain this.
What I was going to say was, why don't we just start again and then just have a part 2 of the podcast, and then we've got 2 done.
True. Because I'm thinking maybe we speak about this fully in the next episode.
Next one. Yeah. Okay.
It's a big topic.
Big topic.
We'll leave it on a cliffhanger, but I mean, anyone that's listening to this will know about Kyber caffeine-free energy, but released or not released yet, but put together a caffeine-free energy drink company. Not going to go into too much detail now because it'll be in the next episode, but I think we're better off talking about, behind the scenes stuff. You've been involved in pretty much every single aspect of it. It's been, I think I started talking about it maybe April or May. I actually spoke about it, but this has been in the works since January. So it's a good 9 months and it's not finished yet. It's not being released just yet. But all that time you've been in the background, like you've seen all of the hardships and you came and did the sample testing and tried things out and everything. So it'd be good to have a full conversation on that, I think. So we'll leave that on a bit of a cliffhanger.
So we'll wrap up this podcast as episode 1 of the new Origins. And basically in the future, what we're going to be chatting about, as we said at the start, it's not going to be bodybuilding. It is just going to be almost a weekly chat talking about where we're at. But we're going to be chatting about everything really.
Well, I want this to be a place like people like us can just listen to us have a chat, but also questions about like life experiences, relationships, like fucking football chat or like whatever it is it's going to be. But I don't want this to be too serious of a field podcast anymore. Like, yeah, it's going to be very different. It's quite exciting. I've created a Google Calendar event, so we're not going anywhere. You've been invited to it. So yeah, weekly episodes. I'm sure some of you guys will have seen some clips of this up on Instagram as well. We're doing this properly now. Guests? Thoughts on guests?
Yeah, we'll get some guests on. We'll try and get an array of guests as well, in all aspects, from fitness to whoever we can. Even like get on Leah, chat about Pilates, anything. But yeah, let's wrap this episode up here, and we can just drop like 2 eps in a week to begin with. Yeah, like it's back to back. And well, let's finish this here, and we'll see you in the next one.
All right, sound. See you in a bit, guys.